Hi everyone, I'm Devi. Welcome to my gardening series. I love watering the plants every day in the morning or in the evening, but in the last few years, the heat of the summer is high and the watering requirements of my plants have become more. And as I remember last year's, I was spending most of the time watering my plants in the garden. I wanted to solve this issue, and one more thing is that when I go for vacation, my plants uh, need to be taken care. And for these two issues, I'm going for a drip irrigation system. And today I will show you how I set up a drip for my balcony. Maybe this could help some of you to have an idea of how to set up a drip. Come, let's go and do it together. I have a long rectangle shaped balcony and plants are there on both the sides. There is a lot of small pots and also there are some big pots. The secret to any drip irrigation system is to first sketch your garden in the paper, locate the water source, and also draw the path how you wanted to run the drip lines in your garden. The important component to buy is the timer. So here I am going for 2-zone Wi-Fi irrigation RainPoint brand, and it has got 2 zones. Choosing a specific brand of a timer is a personal choice. The best part is that app's user interface has got a lot of features and it is easy to use. You could also water 3 times at different intervals, and also you could choose watering alternative days, or even you can pause the irrigation whenever there is a rain. The app also tells you that how much water is spent in each zones, and it offers much more features. The next important accessory to buy is the pressure regulator. This you need it because the components of the drip are designed to operate under certain pressure, so which is from 10 to 30 psi, and the Gardena brand, which is in the limit of 22 psi. It also has an integrated filter that filters the water. The next step is to buy all the hoses that you need for the drip irrigation. You need a garden hose from the water source to the start of your garden. So this yellow pipe is used for that. Next you will need a main drip line. This is also 13 mm, which is half-inch pipe. Next 4.6 mm drip line is needed. I am also using another 4.6 mm which has got pre-drip holes in it. All these small accessories like connectors, T-joints, holders, all this you will know when you have a proper planning of your garden setup. Then you will know exactly what and how much to buy each of them. So let's get started. Take your garden hose and connect your pressure regulator like this. At a click of the sound, it is done. This part is the coupler, which is easily available in the shop, and this one is for the 13 mm hose. To the pressure regulator, you need to connect 13 mm main drip line. This pipe is bit hard, so the trick is to soften the pipe with hot water for 5 to 10 seconds, and then you can connect it easier and faster. Once you have connected the pipe, you can lock the connection like so. My garden water source is in the ground floor and my balcony is in the first floor. I am taking the yellow pipe and dropping it to the water source so I could connect it to the tap with a timer later on to finish my setup. Now secure your pipe so that it stays in one place. Next we would use a T-joint connector where you could connect 4.6 mm drip line. Now near to your first pot, make a cut in the main drip line and dip the pipes in hot water to soften the ends. Now push the pipe in the T connector till the end and then lock it. I am using a 4.6 mm pre-made holes drip line and connecting it to the T-joint. Now run the drip lines gently in your pot For every 30 centimeter there is a drip hole in this line. So for this size of pot I would use at least 4 drip holes in this pot. Then you will need landscape pins to secure the pipes so that it doesn't move. I am adding the drip lines in similar fashion in the next pot as well. Now I am continuing the drip line in the next smaller pot. Here I would leave 1 drip hole per pot. So likewise I do it for the next 4 pots. Then I have a hanging pot on top. If I continue the same drip line, I would be wasting the water as it has some hole before reaching the pot. For this scenario I am using a normal drip line plus a drip head with a connector. Connect both the ends of the drip line to the drip head. This is an adjustable drip head. It can deliver 0 to 15 liters of water per hour, so you could adjust it according to your needs. Once you know the length of the line to your pot, you can cut it and add an end line dripper. It is an adjustable dripper which also delivers 0 to 15 liters of water. You can also add a holder to hold the drip line like this. Now I have completed first set of pots with drip line, going from the hanging pot to the smaller pots, and then now this larger pot and then the second larger pot. My one set of drip line is complete. To have a neater look, I would push my main drip line behind and bring my pots forward. Today I have planned my implementation in such a way that I am grouping set of pots together which is next to next, such that I would create groups, and for each group I would run a separate drip line. In that way I can have flexibility to change or remove the pots later. Now I am moving to second set of plants. Here you can see that I am making a cut to have a T connector there. In this T-joint, again I am going to use the 4.6 mm pre-drip line. In this case you can see that there is a drip hole immediately near to the T-joint. I am going to remove this, as if I would use directly it would waste some water from that drip hole. So I am cutting it off and again making a cleaner cut of the drip line to make the connection easier and also to prevent the leak later. As these are smaller pots, I am again installing 1 drip hole per pot. These 2 pots are slightly bigger than the previous ones, so here I am adding 2 drip lines for each pot. Again a small pot, 1 drip hole, and then the next pot slightly bigger, I am doing 2 drip holes in this pot. Again these 2 pots are getting 2 drip holes for each, and the next last one would get 1 drip hole. As we reach the last pot, here we have to make a cut in the drip line and then attach end plug which will close the line. To attach the end plug, it is not easier with the bare hand. For this, Gardena offers an assembly tool which will help to hold the plug, and then it is easier to connect it to the drip line. Now the drip line is installed for the second group of plants. Let's have a look at from the last pot until the first pot of installation. Moving on to third group of plants. I would be setting up a drip to this group of plants like shown in the hand direction. I would be installing here and then moving up until the hanging pots. Now let's do it for the third set of plants. I am making a cut here in 13 mm line and going to use a T-joint. Now connect the 4.6 mm pre-hole drip line. This is one of my favorite drip line as it is easier to run around the plants. My next set of plants are some vines and berries. They have lot of branches, so I cannot move the pot. So I have to make a cut for the next T-joint, detach the pipe and then run it behind the pots. Now run the drip lines in the pot and secure it with landscape pins. Now we reach the last pot in this group. So I am cutting the drip line and adding a drip emitter and attaching a normal drip line without a pre-drip holes and taking it to the hanging basket. When the pipe reaches the pot, cut the line and then add a drip emitter. This is again an adjustable drip emitter where you could adjust the water flow later. Now from left side hanging pot to the right side hanging pot, take the normal drip line, measure the length and then cut the line. Now add the end drip emitter and finish the drip for this group. Moving on with the installation for fourth group of plants, I would be running the drip line to the pots below from that end to this end, and then on top I will do it for the geraniums and for the salad. This is my fifth group of plants. I would be running the drip line from that end till this end. And this is sixth group, strawberry plants. And this is the seventh group with herbs, aubergines and chilies. This is eighth group of plants with dahlias. After completing the drip lines to all the groups, the last important step is to close the main drip line with this end plug. Now the drip line setup is ready. One final thing to do is to connect to the timer. As you can see, the timer is already connected because I have done the drip irrigation for my backyard. Now I am using the second zone for my balcony drip irrigation system. Now everything is set up. The final moment, testing phase. Opening the RainPoint app and connecting to the timer. You need to check all the parts if the drip is working. Sometimes the drip lines might move from its place. You need to check and secure them in the right place. And there are places where we installed the adjustable drip. You need to adjust the drip so that it is dripping but not pouring. If you are unsure that the plant has required amount of water, you could check the plate underneath the pot. This would have the extra water collected. This ensures that the plant has sufficient water. Initially, when I thought about drip irrigation system, I thought it's very difficult and I need to hire somebody to do it. But later on, I did a lot of research about setting up a drip, and I also went to the local store to see what products are available. And after seeing that, I felt that it is simple and it is flexible and easy to set up a drip. I hope this video would have helped you to get an idea about how simple is that and how you can set it up in your garden. Every garden is different. You could also mix and match the products. For example, I used RainPoint for my timer, and others for the hoses and other fittings I used Gardena products. You could completely mix and match the products that is available to you and set up your drip irrigation according to your garden setup. If you have any questions regarding that, you could ask me in the comment section. Thanks for joining me today and see you in the next video. Bye bye.